Hey YouTube, I just wanted to throw up a quick video about MIDI implementation as it relates to the Korg Gadget. So MIDI implementation in the Korg Gadget is actually quite robust. With the introduction of Type A, they really gave you a lot of options. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that and how I'm currently using it. So the default MIDI setting in your preferences is going to be set to easy mode. Now if you change that to advanced mode, it will open up these MIDI settings down here for each track. What you'll notice is that by default they're set to all instruments, all channels. So what you want to do is go ahead and set the ones that you don't want to affect to no input, so that you're not affecting channels that you don't want to be affecting. So what I've got going on here is we're going to get input to our Miami from this iConnect MIDI DIN. So how I've got this set up is we've got an iConnect MIDI, and on DIN 1 I've just got it routed back into itself. So now the output here is going to be DIN 1, right? So we're going to output to DIN 1 and then we're going to bring it in from DIN 1 right here. And then we want no input on that Type A channel. So Type A is going to feed the LFO to the Miami. And what you'll notice here, so we're going to bring this up, I've just got a little acid bass going on here on the Miami. So if I wanted to start modulating that acid bass with the LFO, I can do that. And you can actually see that this LFO, I think we've got a recorded on and off on here somewhere. So that's probably gonna, let's go ahead and pull up our settings here, clear that switch. So what you'll notice is that I've set these CCs here. These are actually just set to values that don't do anything, so that they're not messing with my current patch on the Miami. So what I want to do is I want to feed data from the LFO to the Miami. So I'm going to click that on, and this number here, the CC number 88, is actually corresponding to the X mod depth. And you can see this is set to a speed of 1 to 3. Let's just bring that down to 2. So this should happen every 2 bars. It's going to complete a cycle. And you can see that cycle's actually going to end right here. That's because the intensity on this LFO BPM sync is set to 64. Now if we drove that all the way up, it'll actually make a complete cycle every 2 bars. So we're going to feed it to this channel, and what you might be thinking at first is, how do you know that this number here corresponds to the X mod depth? And the way I determine that is if you pop over here, there's actually a MIDI specification chart. Now, I couldn't find this anywhere officially from Korg. This guy Uberhouse on the Audio B forums put this together himself, and it is a great resource. So you can see here, here's the Miami, and then CC numbers start right here. So if we scroll down to 88, you'll see that 88 is the X mod depth. So we're feeding CC 88 X mod depth, and that's how we're getting this result. And let's say we want to do a sample and hold, so we're going to get random values and keep them there. Let's do 1 bar. So now you'll see each bar you're going to get a random value, and it's going to hold that random value for the length of a bar. And it can be any value within that range. So let's say we want to reduce the range and we only want some low ends, right? So let's pull that intensity back. And now the range will be much lower that it can sample from. So this is just a quick way, especially if you've already got a MIDI interface plugged in, that you can get changes in LFOs. And I'm sure there's probably a way to do this using the audio MIDI setup, or the audio MIDI settings in your system preferences on your Mac, but I haven't taken the time to work that out, and I already had it plugged in for the Eurorack, so I just went ahead and used that. But yeah, Type A, I'm actually pretty impressed with it overall. It's really nice, especially if you're using a Eurorack, because you can, if you're whatever you're using to turn MIDI into control voltage on your Eurorack, it has modulation support. You can send those BPM synced LFOs to your Eurorack, which is just nice because then you can do all kinds of wacky things with it on the Eurorack and get some pretty stunning results. But that's what I'm covering for today, and leave a like if it was helpful.